And in the top right spawn position, we've got the red Protoss playing for TT Esports. He is currently down 3-1. He needs a few cheers, guys. So hopefully you're going to be clapping in your man cave back at home for Whitera, the red Protoss player. And in the middle left spawning position, here on Core Hall, we've got the blue Zerg player currently up 3-1. He is in a very comfortable position. Formerly on MTW, currently teamless. It is Dimaga.
Indeed. Now, we have been corrected by chat. It was, of course, in the campaign, Coral. And I'm not sure if this is true, but he seemed pretty confident that it's Meng's homeworld, actually, in the campaign.
Okay. So that's where I heard it. Pretty interesting. Not really relevant to anything, though. This map is a 4-player map, isn't it?
It is a 4-player map. So that's why they are, of course, scouting in all of the positions. And probably the biggest thing we should talk about on this map is that it has a base in your base.
There's a base in your base. This is baseception.
Baseception. Like, when you don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, they're all on the same level. If there were multiple levels of bases in your base, that would really be baseception.
Yeah, that would really be baseception. If there would be like a third base where the gap is now in between your... You know, that would be... Okay, we're derailing. Let's...
One base you could never get out of. It's just down a massive cliff you can go in but can't get out of. That would be awesome. That would be baseception.
Inception, such a great movie, by the way. I enjoyed watching that so much when I was in theater. I was like... I have no idea what just happened, but it was really cool. I'm going to watch it again. And then I watched it again, and I was like, this is cool. I love all the Inception references that are being made, even the horrible ones, as I just made. But anyway, let's get back into this game, Maddles. I think the openers are looking quite standard, aren't they?
They are. So far, Whitera hasn't built a Stargate. That's probably the most notable thing. Of course, the Cybercore not yet done. I was making a joke. It's not that I'm just not looking at the map, but of course... Dimaga, he's dealt with Oracle as well. Or, I'm not even sure that's the correct thing to say. I would say that Whitera hasn't utilized Oracles that well so far. He hasn't really done much harassment with them. So, I'm hoping that if he goes for a Stargate this game, which I kind of think he may, he does do something with them. Because if you're going to make them, at least make them work for you.
Yeah, making... Oh, I think I just lost my sound here for a second. Give me 1 sec.
No problem. I will fill this time absolutely, well, greatly, hopefully. I'll try my best. But of course, the Overlord coming in now. He's been in here for a while, seen all the normal timings. He's Warp Gate starting, so not a super fast Stargate. There comes down the Stargate. It's not going to get scouted, though. So, of course, in their spawn positions, the big thing to note is that first and foremost, the third base Dimaga has taken is incredibly exposed. Like, 3 of its edges are, or if you imagine it as a square, 3 sides completely open to oracles. As a result, that could do a lot of damage. And there's a big distance between that and the main, so queens without the creep there are going to take a long time to get down. So Dimaga also has a very short distance to get there. It's close by air, so as a result, you could potentially deal an awful lot of damage with those oracles, and that's what Whitera really needs to do. But I can't help but feel, Lurlian, Dimaga knows how Whitera plays. He's possibly one of the most predictable players in Heart of the Swarm in terms of his opening, going oracles pretty much every game, that he gets blind counted a lot.
Yeah, he does. He hasn't been able to make them work in every game. Let's see how he's going to be able to make things work this time around. We see a 1v1 between a Queen and a Stalker. The Queen is going to come out ahead, especially when her buddies join up, her girlfriends. It's now 4 versus 3, so Whitera is going to have to retreat here. He does have his first Oracle now on the way, and the Oracle is going to be joining up with the rest of the forces, it seems like, but with 5 Queens defending here, 5 Queens already out on the field, with 3 more on the way. Oh my god, Dimaga popularizing, you know, there used to be the 6 Queen style that used to be really popular in the Zerg play, and now we've got the 8 Queen style coming up by Dimaga, even making a 9th one. He is...
Well, this is really similar actually to Game 2 of the Alienware Arena show match between these two, where actually Dimaga went for Corruptor Ultra with Mass Queen in there as well to really deal with everything, and he won that game very convincingly. But we see here the Oracles have managed to get a couple of kills, 4 workers, but an Oracle getting not moved back from these 2 Queens is going to go down, and you cannot afford that to be happening at the start of a game right now, because of course if you're losing an Oracle dealing no damage, that is never ever going to be too much fun.
Oh, man. That's so sad to see an Oracle die in that way. You just know that Wadra, you know, he's such a good player. It's so uncharacteristic for him to lose a unit that's on a waypoint, and then, you know, it took like 10 seconds for the Oracle to actually die, and he didn't regain control of it. So that's really a big loss. He would have had 3 Oracles on the field right now. That would have been a lot better than 2, because 3 is better than 2. Who would have guessed? In-depth analysis by Lurlian.
It's just like, it's sad times. I don't know if you've noticed this, Lurlian, but the fact that there is no forge down for Wadra at all. He has not built a forge this game, and as a result has no upgrades, but yet has still gone for 7 gates out of this Stargate. So
wow.
He's going for a lot of gateway units without any upgrades, of course, lacking upgrades as well as Dimaga, so they are equal in not upgrading, but these Zealots are going to take 3 shots to kill Zerglings as opposed to 2, and Dimaga does have a lot of Zerglings only, and we see the engagement coming on here. The Queen's doing a great amount of damage. The Oracle's trying to get in on this fight, but of course the Queen's able to do just so much damage. Mass transfusing Dimaga with the micro to the max. The Zealots, though, cleaning this up very nicely indeed. More Zerglings are on their way out. No Roach Warren, so obviously this mass Zealot style is going to be fairly effective. 1 Oracle does still remain. Lurlian, Dimaga looking to be in trouble now.
Yeah, Dimaga is in so much trouble right now. Wadra ahead in supply. He has all those Zealots on the ground. There's no Roaches to counter the use of the Zealots. The Queens are luckily still alive. 3 of them are still alive out of the 12 or so that were produced in this game, but they don't have a lot of energy left. The last Queens are going to be falling. 22 Lings on the way. 3 Queens coming out. I think Dimaga's produced like 20 Queens in this game, but it's not going to be enough to bring him victory in this one. Queens, of course, very good at defending against a lot of Oracles and to be used with Roaches, but if you don't have Roaches, what are you going to transfuse? Queens have low DPS. Zerglings have low health. There's nothing to transfuse you know, there's nothing to transfuse. That's the point of getting so many Queens. You want to have a beefy unit that you can transfuse, and transfusing Queens is good on Oracle versus Queen, but not so good when there's 10 Zealots and 20 Stalkers shooting your Queens, because they're going to be one-shotting them.
Indeed. Now drones are getting pulled, which is of course the point where you have to think maybe this is going to be over. Dimaga under 50 supply now. I'm expecting to see a GG very shortly. There's no counter-attack, just streams of gateway units coming through. And indeed, there goes down the GG. The lovely victory screen for Wadra popping up.